Carmelo Anthony has been one of the true breakout players in the Orlando bubble. The Trailblazers are doing everything they can to beat the Grizzlies for that 8th seed in the West, and Melo has been a good role player for them. The Blazers are now 5-2 in the bubble, and Melo's clutch shots and improved defensive effort has played a huge role in Portland winning these games. In the 7 games that the Blazers have played in the Orlando bubble, Melo was averaging 17.6 points per game, while shooting 47% from the field, 50% from the three-point line, and 85% from the free throw line. Not only is Melo helping the Blazers to win, but he's cementing his place in NBA history. He just moved up to 15th on the all-time scoring list. I think it's extremely impressive that Melo went from out of the NBA to thriving for Portland like this. About a year ago, the Houston Rockets cut Melo after just 10 games. Unfortunately for Melo, nobody signed him for the rest of the season, and it appeared that Melo's career was over. Now, to me, it was ridiculous that Melo was going unsigned because even at his worst, he was still an NBA level player. If scrubs like Dragon Bender could get signed, Melo definitely deserved the NBA contract. But Melo was still without a contract throughout the entire 2019 offseason and at the start of the NBA season. Even though Melo went a long time without a contract, he kept grinding while waiting for our opportunity to open up. The Blazers were desperate for help after getting off to an awful 4-8 start, so they signed Carmelo Anthony in mid-November. Melo was instantly a great addition to the team. Over the season, Melo averaged 15 points and 6 boards a game. He even won the Player of the Week award where he averaged 22 points per game while leading Portland to a 3-0 week. Melo definitely deserves a lot of credit for thriving with the Trailblazers. After going a year without playing in the NBA, he could have just called it quits, but he kept working hard and waited for his number to get called and capitalized when he got the opportunity. His comeback story is inspirational. Despite Melo's individual success, the Blazers still found themselves on the outside looking in heading into the bubble. Going into the bubble, they were the 9th seed and were 2.5 games away from the 8th seeded Grizzlies. But after going 5-2, the Blazers now find themselves in the 8th seed. Damien Lillard has been the main reason behind the Blazers' success, as he's had 3 games where he scored over 40, including a 61-point game against the Mavs. But Melo has also been a significant factor, making clutch plays for Portland on both ends of the floor. So in this video, we're going to discuss how Melo is thriving for the Blazers right now. But before we continue, if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe, as your support helps me to make more dope content like this. Now let's continue. Melo has been a contributing factor in many areas for the Blazers, but the main 4 ways he's helping them right now is 3-point shooting, isolation scoring, defense, and clutch plays. In the Orlando bubble, Melo has really caught fire from 3-point range. He already shot the 3-ball well during the season, as he's shooting 38% from 3 on the year, but in the bubble, he's taking it to another level. In 7 games for the Blazers in the bubble, Melo is shooting a scorching hot 50% from 3 on 4 attempts a game. This hot shooting is really helping the Blazers to win games. Not only does the high efficient 3-point shooting help Melo to score more points, but the 3-point shot makes it easier for his teammates to dominate. Damien Lillard and CJ McCollum are 2 all-star level guards that love to attack the rim. Because defenders respect Melo's 3-point shot, this opens up driving lanes and makes it a lot easier for them to attack the rim. If the opposition tries to provide help defense off of Melo, they're put in an impossible situation where they're either going to give up a Damien Lillard layup attempt or an open 3-pointer from a player who's shooting 50% from 3. Melo has the ability to attack closeouts as well. Even if the defender does take the 3-point shot away, Melo can very easily pump fake, get his man in the air, and knock down the open mid-range shot. Melo's floor spacing abilities are a significant part of a Blazers offense that currently ranks 3rd in the NBA. The next area where Melo was really helping the Blazers is Isil Scoring. Melo isn't 2013 scoring champion Melo anymore, but even in his 17th season, he's still a walking bucket. Melo is still an effective scorer in the post. He can back his defender down to create a nice fadeaway shot. Melo also likes to face up where he gets into his mid-range game. This is an area where Melo can still create space for a shot for himself, whether using the jab step or using the 1-dribble pull-up. These type of shots aren't as efficient for him as they used to be. On the season, Melo is shooting just 43% from the field, which is below league average. But his ability to score in isolation at times is still useful for the Blazers offense. One area of his game that really looks like it's improved in the bubble is his inside game. Melo hasn't been a good finisher in years. After that knee injury he suffered when he was 31, Melo has lost that first step he used to have to drive by and finish over defenders. But Melo just looks faster now, and he's getting to the rim a lot easier. Here Melo uses a nice crossover to get by Marcus Morris and get all the way to the rim for the smooth finish. Melo should definitely look to take more shots like this in the painted area. He can knock down the mid-range shot, but putting the ball on the floor and getting to the rim will make his game more efficient. At this point of his career, Melo isn't a first option, but he's proving that he can be a solid third or fourth option for a contender. Now, Melo's scoring isn't very efficient anymore, but his ability to carry the offense in spurts is still valuable because it takes the pressure off of Portland's all-star guards during games. The next major area where Melo has been huge for Portland is on a defensive end. One of the reasons Carmelo was out the league for a year was his poor defense. At this stage of his career, nobody expects Melo to be an elite defender. But in OKC and Houston, he was giving a poor effort and it was hurting his teams defensively. In fact, it was getting so bad for Melo that it was a team strategy of opposing teams to isolate him on defense for easy buckets. In today's NBA, it's getting a lot harder to hide defensive liabilities as teams will just use screens to get your worst defender isolated on their best scorer and abuse them for an easy basket. Melo has really picked it up on defense. His defense isn't elite by any means, but he's no longer a complete defensive liability for his team. In a nice revenge win against the Rockets, Melo was able to prevent Harden from getting the back cut, then strip the ball away from him. This was a key play in the fourth quarter that led to the win. In the Blazers' recent win against the Mavs, Melo was able to move his feet to stop the Luka drive, which led to the key defensive stop that won the game. The term skinny Melo has become a joke, but I believe the weight loss has helped Melo to move faster on defense. The fact that Melo has improved defensively and can make defensive plays at the end of games is really helping the Portland Trailblazers to win and get into the playoffs. The last area where Melo has helped Portland is by being clutch. Melo has been a clutch player for the entirety of his career. He's hit countless clutch shots while playing for both the Nuggets and the New York Knicks. In fact, after knocking down a game-winning shot in a win against the Toronto Raptors earlier this season, Melo surpassed Kobe for the most game-winning shots in the NBA since the 2003 season. Melo's clutch plays has continued in the Orlando bubble. In most of these wins, Melo is making clutch plays on both ends of the floor. In the win against the Houston Rockets, Melo hit a three-pointer with 1 minute left in the game, which was essentially the dagger. According to Business Insider, in the last 5 minutes of Portland's games in the bubble, Melo has scored 16 points on 61% shooting from the field and 55% shooting from three. His clutch shots has been a huge reason why the Blazers are back in the playoffs right now. Melo is perhaps the most polarizing player in the history of the league. One crowd of NBA fans calls him one of the greatest offensive players ever, while the other crowd calls Melo an overrated ball hog that teams can't win with. The truth is both sides have good points. Being 15th on the all-time scorer list makes it undeniable that Melo is an all-time great, but he made decisions both on and off the court that hurt his team's chances of winning throughout his career. This is something that can happen to a lot of NBA stars. The reality is, when you're an NBA star and you don't win a championship, fair or unfair, the critics will point to your flaws as a reason you're not winning. It's the reason why James Harden has often been criticized as someone who chokes in the playoffs. James Harden puts up incredible offensive numbers in the regular season, but outside of OKC, he's never been to the finals, and as a result, despite the incredible numbers, his game has been open for criticism. Melo is in his 17th season in the NBA, but I don't think it's too late for him to flip the narrative for his career. If he can help the Blazers win a championship, he can be widely viewed as a winning player. A championship has an incredible impact on a player's legacy. The Blazers don't have a chance at a title this season. Even if they make the playoffs, I expect them to lose to the Lakers in 5 or 6 games. But if they can go into next year healthy and add some perimeter defenders, the Blazers could have a chance. This is a team that was just in the conference finals a season ago, even without their starting center, Yusuf Nurkic. If the Blazers can win a title and Melo can be a contributing factor, he will flip the script on his NBA legacy. With that said, that's going to be the end of the video. Will Melo win a title before his career is over? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.